Chapter 61. She is completely helpless. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing Tang Xiao boldly speaking flirtatiously, Mark smiled lightly. The next second, he suddenly grabbed Tang Xiao's neck and pulled her lips only a few minutes away from his own. Ms. Tang, are you serious? Tang Xiao's brain suddenly shut down due to Yifan's move, and her original cunning expression instantly turned into shy and overwhelmed. The curve of Yifan's mouth smiled even wider. It turns out that he is just a paper tiger who only likes to talk and talk. Ms. Tang, you don't seem to be as powerful as you think. Listening to Yifan's slightly teasing words, I felt that his breath was very close to her. Tang Xiao's heartbeat was so intense that it seemed like it was going to explode. She quickly moved her body back a few steps, pretending to show a strong and fearless expression. However, her ears, which were so red that they seemed to be bleeding, had betrayed her. I was just scared by you suddenly. And you speak well. What are you doing all of a sudden? Tang Xiao quickly used the calculation to cover up her guilty and shy panic. Before you eat a man, you must not show that you have been successfully seduced by him. Otherwise she will lose. Tang Xiao quickly recited the love mantra she heard from her friends over and over again in an attempt to calm herself down. Yifan now looks at Tang Xiao as if he were a transparent person. This girl is obviously a love novice who is easily shy and blushes, but she still pretends to be a flirt with Neptune. Mark's chuckle couldn't help but get louder. Ms. Tang, you just came in and put your arms around my neck and called me my girlfriend without my consent. You also sat on my lap and took advantage of me. Is it normal for me to come back now? After Yifan finished speaking, he still crossed his legs and nudged Tang Xiao, who was sitting on his lap, a few times as if teasing a child. Because Tang Xiao's center of gravity was unstable, she subconsciously put her hands around Mark's neck. It looked like she took the initiative to hug Yifan tightly. See for yourself, Miss Tang, you took advantage of me again. Tang Xiao was unable to parry with Yifan's combination of actions and words. She was so shy at this time that she was completely dizzy. Mom. She was really sloppy. The man in front of her was of such a high rank that she was no match for him. But don't tell me, his arms are really comfortable. And looking at his profile from this angle, he looks so handsome. Tang Xiao couldn't help but feel infatuated for a while, and after a while, she quickly pretended to be serious and jumped off Yifan's lap. Ahem, just now, those things just now were all accidents. Yifan smiled and looked at Tang Xiao's concealed appearance. In fact, he quite likes this kind of woman. On the surface he is smart and tough-tongued, but on the inside he is actually very transparent and easy to understand. She is indeed a young lady from an aristocratic family who has been pampered since childhood. I have never been beaten up by society, so I am very innocent and can see through my thoughts at a glance. Now that Yifan has accumulated wealth to such a status, he is no longer interested in spending energy guessing women's riddles. A good-looking beauty with such a temperament as Tang Xiao was exactly what he wanted. Seeing that the time was almost up, Yifan stood up and prepared to leave. Tang Xiao, who had just stood up and pretended not to be flirted with, couldn't help but subconsciously asked in a loud voice. I just asked casually, can we meet again next time? Yifan chuckled and looked back at Tang Xiao. Don't worry, we will definitely meet again. After saying that, Yifan waved his hands and left, leaving only a back figure that made Tang Xiao look so handsome. Although Tang Xiao was a little puzzled as to why Yifan was so sure that they would meet again, she began to look forward to it sweetly for no reason. Yifan drove back to Imperial University. On the way, he received the reward for completing this party's mission, a building in Building 5 of Jinjiang. The building number 5 that Yifan got happened to be the one with the best view in Jinjiang Mansion. This building has a total height of 45 floors, 3 staircases, and 1 apartment, with a standard floor area of 597 square meters. And it is only 50 meters away from the riverside, so you can enjoy a 270-degree real first-line river view at home. On the top floor of the high-rise building in Building 5, there are also 4 high-end duplex houses with an area of 876 square meters to 986 square meters. Yifan has already planned to keep a duplex house with the largest area as his permanent residence. It just so happens that Jinjiang, Washington is right next door to Imperial University, so it will be more convenient in all aspects in the future. then he would give Yuker a duplex room, so that he could get some profit back or get a critical hit reward if he was lucky enough. As for other standard-sized houses, just find an agency to rent them out. One unit can be rented for around 10 renminbi to 20 renminbi per month, so the total monthly income is at least 400 million renminbi. Mosquito meat is also meat. Good. Then it's decided. After Yifan finished calculating, the car drove into the parking lot of Imperial University. He held the car keys in his hand and walked quickly towards the dormitory. After getting together with the group of high school classmates who no longer had much affection for each other in the afternoon, Yifan felt that he was not very happy all over. He suddenly missed the 3 guys in the dormitory. Moreover, there happened to be a senior class for the entire department tomorrow, so Yifan chose to go back to school. Boss, second brother and fourth brother. I'm back. As soon as Yifan entered the dormitory door, it turned out that the dormitory was still the same as before. Yang Zhenghao, the second eldest brother, was happily scrolling through his cell phone. Meng Guanghua, the eldest brother, went over to watch the excitement. Huang Yu, the fourth eldest brother, still wore headphones and turned to the computer to kill people. Third brother. Why haven't you come back for a long time? We all miss you so much. Meng Guanghua rushed up and gave Yifan a bear hug, and Yang Zhenghao immediately followed suit. After the 3 of them exchanged pleasantries, Meng Guanghua made plans to have a hot pot meal in the dormitory tonight. He quietly took out the electric cooking pot that could not be discovered by the dormitory supervisor, and added fresh vegetables, meat and meatballs bought at the school supermarket into the base. After eating meat, vegetables and a few cans of beer, the 4 of us were full and satisfied. That's right. Our department's grade-level class will be held tomorrow. Then we can meet the school beauties from the same department as ours. Yang Zhenghao brought up the topic happily, and Meng Guanghua quickly agreed. If you didn't tell me, I would have almost forgotten that I haven't seen the school beauty for a long time since I started my senior year and didn't have any classes. Should I say it or not, school beauty Shang is really awesome. It doesn't matter if she's good-looking, she's so damn good. It goes without saying that she is the host of various evening parties in the school. She studies well enough to win a national scholarship every year, and she actually still has the energy to serve as the vice president of the student union. No, I heard that her family background is extremely outstanding. Sure enough, children raised by elite families are extraordinary. Chapter 62 The School Beauty Brings Breakfast to Yifan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yang Zhenghao and Meng Guanghua started discussing each other word by word. Yifan listened to the conversation between the two and then remembered that there was indeed one more of these 4 school beauties. Moreover, Shang Qing, whom he has not yet met, is also the school beauty. In fact, if you count, she is the closest contact with him. She is in the same grade and major. Yifan had met so many good-looking beauties recently, but he accidentally forgot the one he was most familiar with. Just in time, let's go see if this big school beauty has a chance to get rewards tomorrow. Because the major class of the grade was an early class, so early the next morning, several roommates got up early to get ready. Boss, what do you think of my hairstyle? Isn't it good? Not bad, not bad. So handsome. What about me? What about my shirt? Yang Zhenghao and Meng Guanghua checked each other's clothes, thinking that they must leave a good impression in front of the school beauty. The dormitories next door, which had always been dead silent in the morning, now also heard the sounds of various busy activities. Yifan hasn't gotten up so early for a long time. He got out of bed sleepily, washed up casually, and prepared to go out with his roommate. Before going out, he felt that his hands were empty again, so he found the Patek Philippe Grande Sonnery watch that he had never brought with him since he bought it before and put it on. The 4 of them chatted and laughed as they came to the large classroom dedicated to grade-level classes. At this time, almost everyone in the large classroom had arrived. Yifan walked into the classroom and was about to walk to his class with his 3 roommates. The classroom that was still chattering suddenly became a little quiet, and everyone's eyes couldn't help but focus on Mark. Who is this person? Is there such a handsome person in our grade? Why haven't I noticed it before? He seems to be Yifanya from class 3. We haven't seen him for just half a semester, how come he has become so handsome all of a sudden? Several girls couldn't help but grab their best friend's hand and screamed silently. With the encouragement of their classmates, a few of them had already stood up and were eager to ask Yifan for WeChat. When the boys saw that Mark had sucked away the attention of the girls, they couldn't help but look at him with jealousy, however. The next second, after seeing someone appearing at the door of the classroom, the gloomy mood of the boys in the class was instantly wiped away, and everyone immediately became excited. Oh my God! Is that sophomore Song Jiro standing at the door now? Why did she come to us? Damn it, how come the beauty of this Song school beauty is so much better than the photos on the forum? Damn, I really want to pick her up. Those long legs look so cool. The eyes of all the male students in the classroom were instantly focused on Song Jiro. They were too lazy to hate Mark anymore, who was being watched by the nymphos in the class. After all, this kind of beautiful woman is not on the same level as the ordinary girls in the class. Several boys sitting in the front row looked at Song Jiro looking around and couldn't help but sit up straight to make themselves more conspicuous. At this time, Yifan and his roommates agreed on where to sit. Just as he was about to go there, he heard a small cry like a mosquito's cry of senior brother Yi. Yifan turned around and looked at the source of the sound, and immediately saw Song Jiro calling him softly. When the roommates saw Mark turning around, they also turned around and looked. Damn it! School Beauty Song. Third brother, with the look in the School Beauty Song's eyes, she couldn't be here to find you. I'm sure you are too awesome. Young Zhenghao remembered what happened when Song Jiro got off Yifan's car before, and couldn't help but asked excitedly. Yifan nodded back to him, and then came to Song Jiro in a few steps. The male students in the class frowned as they watched Yifan walk towards Song Jiro. They were about to laugh at Yifan's self-righteousness. However, the next second, Song Jiro handed Yifan a bag of milk bread in front of everyone. Senior brother Yi, I heard that you have a big class today, so you probably didn't have time to have breakfast. This is for you. Song Jiro's voice was not loud, but in the completely quiet classroom, her voice still reached everyone's ears clearly. Song School Beauty is here to deliver breakfast to Yifan. The male classmates all had expressions of disbelief on their faces, and their fragile hearts were instantly broken into pieces. Yifan took the breakfast from Song Jiro and looked at Song Jiro with a little doubt. This girl doesn't look like she would come here specially to deliver breakfast, does she? With her fearful nature, shouldn't she be eager not to appear in front of others? Not to mention coming all the way to this grade classroom that accommodates 200 to 300 people. Junior sister Song, are you not just here to bring me breakfast? Yifan deliberately came closer and asked. Song Jiro blushed, and she knew that she could not hide anything from senior brother Yi. Actually, senior brother Yi, you saved my father's life last time. Our whole family has always wanted to find a chance to thank you, so my mother asked me to invite you no matter what. In fact, Song Jiro herself had an unspoken reason. During this period, not only did she not meet Mark in the hotel, but she also couldn't see him in school. She felt inexplicably that she still missed this senior brother. So thinking that she might be able to meet senior brother Yi when she comes to deliver breakfast during this morning class, she doesn't seem to be so afraid of appearing in front of many people. Oh, so that's it, then you can go back and do the work without worry. I will definitely go. And thank you for the breakfast. Yifan smiled and touched Song Jiro's head and replied. Seeing Song Jiro lowering her head shyly after being touched by Yifan, the male students in the classroom were instantly shocked again. Aw! Yi Laogo, put down your dirty hands. Give me back my goddess. Several sworn enemies from Yifan's dormitory who arrived late outside the classroom also rubbed their eyes in disbelief when they saw this scene. Let me go. The one in front of the School Beauty Song who touched her head couldn't be that poor Yifan, right? It's really him. Damn, how come Song, the School Beauty, is so good that he falls for her? Boss, he's showing off like this, we have to go up and give him some color. Let's beat him. Mao Zijuan, a junior in the dormitory, suggested to Shi Kai. However, Shi Kai, who had always been regarded as the leader by several people, uncharacteristically took a few steps back after seeing Yifan. He suddenly started acting as a peacemaker in a cowardly tone. Oh, we are all classmates. Why are we so tit for tat all day long? There is no need. After speaking, Kai took another step back, slowing down, as if he was afraid of meeting Mark. Boss, you. Several people looked at each other, not knowing what was going on with their boss, but they had no choice but to follow Kai and wait for Yifan to go in first. Chapter 63. She must be here to find you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Yifan said goodbye to Song Jiro, he turned around and wanted to go back to the classroom. With a casual glance, he saw several people from Kai's dormitory standing not far from the door. When Kai saw Yifan's glance that happened to come over him, he subconsciously trembled all over. He still vividly remembers the last time he was taught a lesson by Yifan in the bar. Just by the fact that Yifan was the owner of Mr. Shursan's bar, Kai was already scared enough, at this time. He naturally hoped that he would be as inconspicuous as possible in front of Mark, otherwise he would be seeking death in every minute. Thinking of this, Kai silently took a few steps back and hid behind several roommates. Several roommates suddenly became even more confused. Yifan looked at Kai acting like a rat crossing the street, snorted lightly, and strode into the classroom. Seeing Yifan enter, Kai's dormitory and other talents also followed into the classroom. Mao Zijuan and Sun Jiajing, who has the title of Supergrass, followed their past habits and prepared to cast disdainful glances at the people in Yifan's dormitory. However, as soon as they cast their trouble-seeking eyes today, they found that the demeanor of the people in Yifan's dormitory was obviously different. The usual cowardice of doing less is worse than doing more, and his eyes no longer dodge. Instead, he dared to stare right back. He looked quite high-spirited. Why do I feel that Yifan and his dormitory seem a little less easy to bully? Mao Zijuan asked doubtfully. TCH, isn't it just because that Yifan just had a few words with the school beauty song, so these people think they are awesome? Sun Jiajing looked unconcerned. Do these poor guys really think that talking to beauties can increase their worth? Although he was also a little jealous of Yifan talking to the song school beauty, of course the most important thing in society is a rich family. His family situation alone is enough to crush Yifan's entire dormitory. These people will always be suppressed and beaten by themselves, and even the children they give birth to will continue to be suppressed and beaten by their own children. This is the fate of these poor people. Sun Jiajing was so happy as he thought about it that he almost laughed. Besides, Yifan just had a few words with a school beauty from Song Dynasty. What does this mean? Among the 4 beauties in our school, the Song school beauties are the youngest and naturally the purest in nature. Maybe Yifan used some despicable trick to trick her into bringing him breakfast. If you put Yifan in front of the other 3 school beauties, they might call him a poor bastard. Sun Jiajing's inference immediately made Mao Zijuan applaud. That's right. This must be just a little coincidence. A bunch of idiots are still there, ha ha ha. That the two of them laughed and glared at Mark and others before sitting down in their seats. On the other side, Yifan returned to his seat and just picked up the book without even glancing at it. A rustling sound came from the door of the classroom. It was several students from other departments who first helped the teacher to deliver materials. A plump and youthful figure with a high ponytail followed the students in and walked to the podium to help arrange the materials assigned by the teacher. Damn it! What a good day today is! Another school beauty is here. Who is it? Let me see. Let me go. It's Tao Sil. She has such a great figure. She is indeed a person who exercises and keeps fit all day long. This is too shabby. The front is convex and the back is curved. It feels very good when you look at it. Several wretched male classmates made gestures in the air, everyone's eyes were focused again, and everyone wanted to take a good look at the sports goddess. Yifan heard the familiar name in the discussion and looked up at the podium. Just then, Tao Sil stood up after laying out the information on the table and looked into each other's eyes. Tao Sil's eyes lit up the moment he saw Mark. It's him. It turns out that Yifan is this professional. I haven't seen him for a long time. Why do I still miss him a little bit? Perhaps, if I agree to his last proposal, I will have more time and opportunity to see him, right? Tao Sil made up his mind and his face turned red instantly. Wait a minute. Tao, the school beauty, is looking at me in this direction, isn't she? Get out of here. People are obviously looking at me. And she blushed. She is definitely interested in me. Several male classmates who caught Tao Xiao's gaze were instantly aroused by her shy expression. Everyone was eager to confirm that they were the person Tao Xiao was looking for. When Yi Fan saw Tao Xiao appearing in the classroom, he was surprised at first. The next second he saw this girl, suddenly walking towards him in full view of everyone. At this time, Sun Jiajing, who was a few seats away from Yi Fan, could hardly suppress the smile on his face when he saw Tao Xiao running over. Brother Jiajing. From the look in Tao's eyes and the direction she's coming, she must be here to find you. Mao Zijuan said excitedly. Sure enough, your title of superhero is well deserved. You actually attracted all the beauties from Tao school. Sun Jiajing listened to Mao Zijuan's praise and quickly pressed the corners of his mouth that were hard to suppress. Oh, sometimes I'm a little troubled by being noticed because I'm too handsome. But since she is the beauty of Tao school, I will reluctantly walk a few more steps to greet her so that she doesn't get too tired from walking. Under the praise of several younger brothers, Sun Jiajing immediately stood up with confidence. Looking at Tao Xiao's beautiful face and plump figure, he was actually very excited inside, but he still resisted putting on a pretentious expression and walked quickly in the direction of Tao Xiao. When passing by Yi Fan's seat, he deliberately stopped and gave Yi Fan a look of contempt. TCH, she's just the school beauty. I have one too. And from the first glance, Tao, the school beauty, is here just for me. This is not a treatment that just any cat or dog can get. Sun Jiajing snorted coldly and hurriedly took a few steps forward to stop in front of Tao Xiao. Tao Xiao realized that someone was blocking her. She frowned and took a step to the side to avoid it, but if she takes a step, the opponent will follow suit. Sun Jiajing was extremely proud at this time. Sure enough, these school beauties are still shy easily. He even came to her in person, and she was still playing hard to get with him. But he still liked it. Tao Xiao was tired of being blocked. This person must be sick. Why are he always blocking her? This classmate, could you please give way? Why have you been blocking me? That when Sun Jiajing heard this, the proud expression on his face froze instantly. Tao school beauty, aren't you just here to find me? I don't even know you, why should I look for you? Please stop blocking me. Tao Xiao finished answering Sun Jiajing with a hint of disgust, then he immediately passed by Sun Jiajing while he was stunned, and jogged to Mark's side with joy. Chapter 64, Did he stab the school beauty? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The students who were planning to laugh at Sun Jiajing for being sentimental suddenly stopped in silence when they saw Tao Xiao happily coming to Yi Fan to chat with him. Another one came to find Yi Fan. Didn't he stab the school bell's nest? Is this fucking reasonable? Sun Jiajing stiffened and turned around slowly. When he saw Tao Xiao looking at Mark with a bright smile, he was shocked to the extreme. Why? Why the hell is this school beauty still here to find Mark? Mao Zijuan and several younger brothers, who were paying close attention to the situation from behind, were all confused at this time. Tao Xiao looked at the handsome face in front of her that she thought about day and night, and the little girl's excitement was all written on her face. Yi Fan smiled and said, Do you have anything to do with me? Tao Xiao's ears felt hot as he thought about the thing he had decided on in his heart. After all, this matter is relatively private, and there are so many people here now. Tao Xiao thought for a while and chose to lean over and whisper in Yi Fan's ear. However, this act of doubling the intimacy instantly caused the entire classroom to burst into wailing. Why on earth is this? Why do the two school beauties come to find Yi Fan, and one is more proactive than the other? Damn it, I really want to hear the school beauty whisper to me. Go ahead. The boys all gritted their teeth and stared at Yi Fan, and they all wanted to pierce Yi Fan right on the spot. Sun Jiajing was so angry that his fists were about to be crushed. Here, Yi Fan could already feel the hot air blowing in his ears, and some shy words slowly ran out of Tao Xiao's mouth. Yi Fan. Actually, I came down to see you to say that I kind of want to try the treatment method you mentioned last time. Since I fainted last time, my body has been feeling tired and uncomfortable from time to time. If that method is really effective, I can I trouble you to treat me? After Tao Sile finished speaking, the imaginary picture of the treatment scene quickly popped into her mind, her face immediately turned red as if it was bleeding, there was a smirk on Mark's lips, and his tone became more serious. If Tao Xiaohua thinks there is no problem, of course I will be happy to help you treat it. Listening to Mark's deliberate bite of the word treatment, Tao Sile felt that Mark was really too bad, she couldn't help but stretched out her fist and hit him. You know how to tease people. Tao Sile's charming and naive side immediately appeared in everyone's eyes after being teased, and everyone couldn't help but feel excited. Tao's shy look is so heartwarming. Why am I not the one flirting with her right now? Yi Laogo. I have nothing to do with you for taking away your wife. Oh my God. Suddenly I feel that Mark Yi and Tao, the school beauty, are so sweet. Why am I still a little bit bumpy? Indeed, the charming beauty and the handsome guy, they really match each other. In the classroom, voices of defiance and envy were heard one after another, and all kinds of voices were in chaos. Seeing that his classmates were about to leave after putting down the materials, Tao Sile quickly stuffed a piece of chocolate into Yi Fan's hand, then he followed Xiaobu and left quickly. The eyes of the male students watched Tao Sile leave, and then they fell enviously on the chocolate in Yi Fan's hand. Sun Jiajing remained stunned in place throughout the whole process. It wasn't until he saw Tao Sile leaving that he slowly recovered from the shock and jealousy. Why do I remember that someone just said that this Tao school beauty came to see him specifically? I wonder if that person's face is swollen from being slapped. Not only was he swollen from being slapped, you see, his face was so beaten that he was stunned for a long time and couldn't find his way around. Yang Zhenghao and Meng Guanghua looked at Sun Jiajing's embarrassed look, not to mention how happy they were. He immediately returned what he had just said to satirize Mark. You guys, Sun Jiajing pointed at the people in the dormitory fiercely, and in the end he could only say scumbag to Yi Fan and quickly walked back to his seat. It's so funny. We, the third one, are purely dimension-reducing attacks. That's right, Sun Jiajing's last sentence about scumbag, those who don't know thought it was our third son who did something to him, haha. Several people in Yi Fan's dormitory were laughing and joking, and their cheerful backs made Mao Zijuan and Sun Jiajing, who were sitting behind them, half angry to death. Brother Jiajing, in Yi Fan's dormitory, they are now riding on our heads. In the past, in our department, you had the most and best girls, and were the most envied by everyone. This is your limelight, we can't just let Mark steal it. Of course Sun Jiajing knows this truth, he racked his brains to think of countermeasures. However, at this time, the surrounding environment became inexplicably quiet, the sound of breathing came one after another. Shang Qingye, wearing an elegant lace dress and waist-length black hair, walked into the classroom leisurely holding a book. It was different from the previous scene where the bright praises rang out one after another when facing the other two school beauties. After Shang Qing also entered the classroom, the entire classroom immediately fell into a tacit silence. In terms of appearance, in fact, in the eyes of everyone, there is not much difference between the four school beauties, but Shang Qing's excellent grades in all aspects of school have given her a unique and soft temperament. The classmates liked her appearance very much, but because of Shang Qing's excellent aura, they did not dare to approach her easily and blaspheme her. Yi Fan followed everyone's gaze. Shang Qing was indeed the same as he had remembered, exuding a restrained and distant aura. In the past, Yi Fan would never dare to approach such a girl, but now, looking at the 95-point appearance score floating on her head, Yi Fan had to go up and meet her for a while no matter what. In the quiet atmosphere of the entire audience, the sound of a chair being moved suddenly sounded. He immediately attracted the attention of the students who were paying attention to Shang Qingye. Yi Fan slowly stood up in the eyes of everyone, and then walked directly in the direction of Shang Qingye. Why is it Yi Fan again? He can't be in a relationship with school beauty Shang and they are also old friends, right? That's definitely not the case. The school beauty Shang is famous for being a domineering school beauty who only focuses on her studies. And she has always been very high-minded. She can't just fall in love with Yi Fan just because he's handsome. Mao Zijuan and Sun Jiajing, who were sitting behind, saw Yi Fan's actions and couldn't help but quickly observe, I want to see what he is going to do. Under the curious eyes of everyone, Yi Fan came directly in front of Shang Qingye and blocked her way. Shang Qing was forced to stop and looked at Yi Fan with some confusion. Chapter 65 The School Beauty is willing to give him WeChat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With everyone watching, Yi Fan bluntly stated his purpose to Shang Qingye. Classmate Shang, can I add your WeChat account? Hearing Yi Fan's appeal, the onlookers breathed a sigh of relief. I'm scared to death. If Yi Fan even knows the school beauty Shang and captures it, then my heart will be completely broken. But Yi Fan suddenly became too courageous. He actually dared to stop the school beauty Shang in public and ask for her WeChat account. Mao Zijuan and Sun Jiajing, who were sitting in their seats, couldn't help but burst into laughter when they heard Yi Fan's words. Brother Jiajing made me laugh so hard. Did you hear that just now? Yi Fan actually told school beauty Shang that he wanted to add her on WeChat, ha ha ha. I heard it. When I saw it, this kid thought he was talking to the two school beauties, so he thought Shang Qing was also someone he could get his hands on. Please. That's Shang Qingye who has high aspirations. No matter how many times I asked her for WeChat, I still didn't get it. He, an ordinary person with no family background and average academic performance, still wanted to get Shang's WeChat account. Sun Jiajing laughed and said harsh words, if Yi Fan can get the WeChat account of Shang Xiaoxue, I will just take his last name. Sun Jiajing's ridicule of Yi Fan reached the ears of the students present. Everyone also wanted to see Yi Fan, who had been in the limelight just now, completely defeated in front of the school beauty Shang. However, the next second, everyone was paying close attention to Shang Qingye and Yi Fan in front of the podium. Shang Qing also took out his mobile phone directly from his bag in full view of everyone. Okay, then I'll scan you. Nanny. The students who witnessed this scene all had their eyes widened as if they were about to fall off, and they all took a deep breath and picked up the people. Mao Zijuan opened his mouth wide as if he had been slapped, and Sun Jiajing was so shocked that he fell off his chair. School beauty Shang actually agreed to let Yi Fan add him on WeChat. This is too unreasonable. Yi Fan's three roommates were also stunned for a moment, and then immediately stood up and shouted excitedly to Yi Fan, Brother Fan is awesome. The entire classroom was in shock with questions in their minds. Yi Fan saw Shang Qing agreeing to his move to add her on WeChat without saying a word, and felt a little confused for a moment. Could it be that my charm has grown again these days? However, Yi Fan will not delve into the reasons in Shang Qingye's heart. Now that he can add WeChat, he will add it first. Let's talk about the rest later. Shang Qing on the other side also looked at Yi Fan's appearance, which was obviously better than ordinary people. With a slight glance, his eyes focused on the Patek Philippe Grande Sonnerie watch in his hand. With her discerning taste in the family for so many years, she could tell at a glance that the Patek Philippe that Yi Fan was wearing could no longer be authentic, and it's a large self-sounding watch that sells for close to 100 million. A watch of this value is worn on the hand of an ordinary male college student. Generally there are only two possibilities. One is that Yi Fan himself is a very rich man, otherwise, he is a rich second generation, and it must come from a family with a high status and assets that cannot be underestimated, otherwise it would be impossible to wear this watch as a casual decoration. Shang Qing also grew up, and her family taught her that school was a place for her to be gilded. She doesn't have to do anything other than studying in things that are conducive to growing her self-worth, and for the future development of the family business. She can only make friends who are truly valuable. Therefore, no matter which of the above two situations Yi Fan falls into, in Shang Qingye's eyes, he is a worthy partner. This is why Shang Qing agreed so easily to Yi Fan's WeChat. The two of them successfully added WeChat, but Sun Jiajing on the other side couldn't sit still at all. He and Mao Zijuan immediately rushed down with a few younger brothers. Shang is the school beauty. Don't be deceived by this pretty boy. You can't keep his WeChat account. Everyone in the classroom saw that this guy was entangled with two other school beauties just now. He is just a scumbag, here to deceive your feelings. Sun Jiajing righteously accused Yi Fan in front of Shang Qingye, and the classmates in the class also agreed. Yes, Shang, the school beauty. We all saw it with our own eyes when Mark was flirting with the other two school beauties just now. That's right. Schoolgirl Shang, please think twice. Yi Fan looked at everyone's collective attack on him, and felt a little want to laugh for some reason. Didn't I just add the school beauty on WeChat, so why did I let these people get through like this? Shang Qing also couldn't help but sigh when he saw that Yi Fan was not only not angry but also smiling. Sure enough, the emotional stability of these truly outstanding elites is simply not comparable to that of today's excited ordinary male college students. Besides, she originally just wanted to make a valuable connection and had no intention of doing anything with him, no matter how many women he flirts with. What does it have to do with her? I don't care about this. No matter how many girls he is familiar with, I am willing to give him this WeChat account. Hearing Shang Qing respond with a completely unconcerned tone, everyone's expressions were completely shocked and stunned. Nanny. School beauty Shang said she didn't care about this. And no matter how many women Yi Fan was dating, she didn't mind at all and would definitely send him WeChat messages. No, why on earth is this? Compared with Yi Fan, where did they lose? The male compatriots were all shocked by Shang Qing's answer. Sun Jiajing couldn't stand even more. Brother Jiajing. You. Hold on. Mao Zijuan and his younger brothers were still surprised, and they had to work hard to hold up Sun Jiajing, who was paralyzed like mud. Yi Fan and Shang Qing also returned to their seats. Yang Zhenghao, who was sitting next to Yi Fan, still remembered the nonsense that Sun Jiajing released just now. Brother Fan. I just remembered someone saying that if you add our school beauty Shang's WeChat account, they will have your last name. Hey, second brother, aren't you trying to get rid of our third brother? If you give him such a nice surname, Yi, it would be a dirty surname for such a good person. Listening to Yang Zhenghao and Meng Guanghua's tit-for-tat taunts, Sun Jiajing was so angry that he felt the smell of blood rising from his throat. Damn it! You guys! Just as Sun Jiajing and others were about to have a fit, the teacher came in with the bell ringing. What are the few people standing up at the back doing? If you make any noise during class, you will go outside and make me stand. There was no way. Sun Jiajing and the others could only sit down. However, their eyes were always fixed on the backs of Yi Fan and others, thinking that they must teach them a lesson after class. Chapter 66, Catch all 4 big school beauties in one network. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A big class passed quickly, and Shang Qing nodded goodbye to Yi Fan from afar and left. Yang Zhenghao and Meng Guanghua looked at Shang Qing, who also took the initiative to say goodbye to Yi Fan, and felt extremely envious in their hearts. Lao San, how did you get the school beauty Shang to not only add you on WeChat, but also be so kind and friendly to you? That smile when the school beauty nodded goodbye just now, Mom, it was really killer. Yi Fan shrugged. I don't know, maybe she thinks I look kind. You kid. This is Versailles. Yi Fan was helpless again. He really didn't know. He can't say that he captured Shang Qing's heart because he is too handsome, right? He is not a narcissistic idiot like Sun Jiajing. However, Yi Fan did have another guess in his heart. Shang Qing seemed to have glanced at the watch on his hand just now, but such an outstanding girl doesn't look like she has the attribute of worshipping money. Otherwise, why would she ignore any of the rich second-generation people in her school? Yi Fan thought about it and was too lazy to think about it. I walked out of the classroom laughing with my roommates, preparing to go to the long-lost canteen to savor the taste of campus. However, after a few people had taken a few steps, an angry shout came from behind. Yi Fan! Stop here, boy! Needless to say, the person who stopped Yi Fan was naturally Sun Jiajing, who had just suffered a complete defeat. These people have been thinking together in class just now. They must give Yi Fan a good beating after class. Don't think that this kind of poor households who have been stepped on by them can't do anything after adding Shang Qing's WeChat. The few times Yi Fan embarrassed Sun Jiajing just now, if he doesn't get some face back, how will the people in the department look at him in the future? Seeing that there was no hope of persuasion, Shi Kai didn't bother to stop a few people in the dormitory from seeking death. He quickly made an excuse and ran away first. When Yi Fan and others heard the shouting, they all turned around impatiently. Sun Jiajing, who is your grandson calling a boy? Why don't you think that the humiliation you just suffered in the classroom was not enough? You dare to dance in front of our brother Fan again. Yang Zhenghao now has the confidence given by Yi Fan, so of course he will not give Sun Jiajing any verbal good looks. You! Who the hell are you calling your grandson? Sun Jiajing had no idea how powerful Yang Zhenghao's mouth was. If he didn't confront them before, it was because Yang Zhenghao didn't want to cause trouble to the dormitory. Now that they have backing, Sun Jiajing and others can't even think of gaining the upper hand in front of Yang Zhenghao. I'm scolding you for what's wrong. If you're hard of hearing, I can also say a few more words to you, grandson, good grandson. Sun Jiajing was trembling with anger. He never dreamed that the people in Yi Fan's dormitory, who had been trampled under their feet in their dormitory, would dare to be so arrogant. At this time, the students who were walking out of the classroom one after another couldn't help but watch the confrontation between the two dormitories. Some people were because Yi Fan had been in the limelight just now, and they also wanted to see him be taught a lesson. Most people follow their own nature of gossiping and don't take it for granted that it's busy. However, to their surprise, Sun Jiajing and others are now being unilaterally suppressed by the people in Yi Fan's dormitory. Sun Jiajing was furious. He originally thought that in a place like this where people come and go, he would just give Yi Fan a few words of warning for the time being, then wait until you get back, find a secluded place, and teach these guys a lesson. But since they are so rampant now, he doesn't mind giving Yi Fan and others a little look now. Anyway, there are relatives of his among the senior leaders of the school. If there is a quarrel, only Mark and the others will be expelled. Yi Fan, originally I just wanted to give you a warning. The school beauties have simple minds. If you know what they are doing, just stay away from them. But now, since you guys are so mouthy, I have to let you taste some suffering. That when Yang Zhenghao, Meng Guanghua and Huang Yu heard Sun Jiajing's obviously threatening words, they immediately stepped forward to block Yi Fan. Now that they have the confidence given by Mark, they can fight back against those who bully them. When things really happen, they must stay in front of Mark first. This is the true brotherhood that their dormitory upholds. Yi Fan naturally saw that the three brothers wanted to protect him if they really took action, but it's not his style to ask his brothers to come forward for such a trivial matter. Yi Fan took a step forward and walked straight in the direction of Sun Jiajing and the others. When Sun Jiajing saw this, he immediately sneered. Yo! Yi Fan, you are here pretending to be a big shot of love and justice. You dare to come in front of us alone. You are really not afraid of us. Sun Jiajing said while punching Yi Fan in the face. I thought about ruining Yi Fan's face and seeing which school beauty would talk to him again. However, before he finished speaking, the fist he threw out was held by Yi Fan with one hand, and it was so strong that he couldn't even break free. For a long time, I thought you were so capable. How dare you stand out with this little strength? Yi Fan chuckled and used his fingers hard. An earth-shaking scream immediately rushed out of Sun Jiajing's mouth. Ah! My fingers! A series of sounds of broken bones sounded from Yi Fan's hand, and then he gently released his hand. Sun Jiajing immediately fell to the ground due to the huge recoil force caused by trying hard to break free. Brother Jiajing. Are you okay? Mao Zijuan hurriedly stepped forward to support Sun Jiajing, then glared at Yi Fan fiercely, and planned to rush up with several younger brothers. However, at this moment, a surprised and pretty female voice suddenly came from the side. Hey! Mark! It's really you. Tang Xiao, who happened to be passing by with her best friend Mo Qianshan, couldn't believe it when she saw Yi Fan's familiar profile just now. Unexpectedly, when I took a closer look, I saw that it was actually the man who told me that I would see you again next time. Oh. I understand. In fact, you already knew that we were in the same school, right? No wonder you were so sure that we would meet again. Tang Xiao didn't expect that she and Mark Fan would have such a fate, so she jumped directly to Mark's side, hugged his arm and started acting coquettishly. Everyone present was completely unable to think at this time. There was no other reason than that they all knew the girl who acted coquettishly towards Mark. And it's a newly released one of the 4 major campus beauties, Tang Xiao. And he came to find Yi Fan again. In just one morning, with all the calculations, the 4 major beauties of Imperial University were defeated by Yi Fan alone. This makes other boys' worldview summarized in one word: collapse. It seemed that because she was so happy to see Yi Fan at school, Tang Xiao couldn't help holding Yi Fan's arm across her chest and shaking it from side to side. Chapter 67. All four school beauties were in Yi Fan's bowl. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everyone watched the scene where Tang Xiao took the initiative to act coquettishly towards Mark. Everyone's expressions were shocked and envious to the extreme. Sun Jiajing covered his fingers in disbelief and looked at the scene in front of him. Mao Zijuan and the others who originally wanted to rush over to settle accounts with Yi Fan were completely frozen in the middle. By the way, since we met by chance, how about we go out for dinner together later? Tang Xiao looked at Yi Fan intently with her big flashing eyes. Because of the height difference between him and Yi Fan, the little head that he tried to raise looked quite cute. Yi Fan couldn't help but scratch Tang Xiao's small and delicate nose. His voice was full of endearment. Okay, it's up to you. This conversation and interaction, like a passionate lover, gave all the male students present a powerful blow. How the hell can these two people still have an innocent relationship? Obviously, this Tang school beauty has been completely eaten by Yi Fan. How can an ordinary friend act coquettishly and touch his face like this in public? The boys who watched the entire interaction between Yi Fan and the four school beauties today had their last glimmer of hope completely extinguished, gone, all gone. For school beauties, not one left. It's all in Yi Fan's bowl. Unlike others who were in a daze, Yi Fan's three roommates were not only envious, but also had endless admiration for their buddies. They didn't even hold back their applause. Third brother. You are so awesome. That the three of them waved their 666 to Yi Fan. Tang Xiao didn't know what they meant by this, but she just thought it looked funny. Suddenly she recalled that when she came over just now, she seemed to hear a few people saying in a very fierce tone that they wanted to deal with Mark. Tang Xiao turned his attention to the people facing Mark. At this time, Mao Zijuan and several younger brothers quickly reacted and immediately lowered their fists raised in the air. After all, they had all heard of the name of Tang Xiao, the unruly little princess. They would not risk their lives to offend such a being with a super powerful background. These students, why did I seem to hear that you had opinions about classmate Yi Fan just now? Tang Xiao's tone contained an obvious hint of anger. Mao Zijuan and Sun Jiajing stepped back with a guilty conscience. No. No, school beauty Tang, we are just joking, we haven't done anything to Yi Fan yet. Not yet? Tang Xiao quickly captured the key point of the words. I don't mean you haven't yet, but you really want to cause trouble for classmate Yi Fan. Tang Xiao's cheeks were bulging with anger. How dare these boys? What if classmate Yi Fan's handsome face is accidentally hurt by them? She will never forgive this kind of thing. The next second, Tang Xiao started to fake cry loudly in front of everyone present. At this time, two bodyguards in black came out of nowhere and immediately came to Tang Xiao. Miss. What's wrong with you? Who bullied you? Tang Xiao pretended to cry while pointing at Sun Jiajing and Mao Zijuan opposite. The two of them were walking on the road just now and bumped into me on purpose, as if I blocked their way so they were going to deal with me. They scared me to death, woo woo. Tang Xiao's acting skills are actually extremely poor. The onlookers knew that she was telling lies, but who dared to expose her? And seeing how Tang Xiao immediately stood up for Mark, there are two of them, not to mention how envious they are. Damn it, why don't they get this kind of treatment? Yi Fan looked at Tang Xiao looking like a drama queen and couldn't help but smile. This girl is really addicted to saving heroes. But now that someone is helping him pack up these unattractive things, he is happy and free. Otherwise, if you reveal your identity too early, you won't have any fun. How boring. In the end, campus life was so short, and Yi Fan really wanted to play the game of pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger for a longer time. Otherwise, when I graduate, my various identities will definitely be too numerous to hide. At that time, no matter good or bad people, they will automatically become good people when they come around them. Then how can he identify and slap in the face those guys who are fighting against others? After listening to Tang Xiao's crying, the two bodyguards here immediately turned extremely dark. How dare you be so disrespectful to their eldest lady in public? Are these guys tired of living? The two bodyguards turned to look at Sun Jiajing and Mao Zijuan, their eyes filled with cold light. Sun Jiajing and Mao Zijuan looked at the faces of the bodyguards. They were so frightened that they backed away, and their legs could not help but tremble. No, brother. Look at my hand, the fingers are all broken. No matter how you look at it, I am the victim. We really didn't do anything to the school beauty Tang. Sun Jiajing quickly raised his hand and started showing off. When the two bodyguards heard this, they did not stop at all, clenching their fists and going to deal with them. It doesn't matter whether you are injured or not, I only listen to our eldest lady. Whatever our eldest lady says, that's what it is. That the two bodyguards immediately surrounded Sun Jiajing and Mao Zijuan who were in front, then he escorted the two of them to a hidden place, preparing to repair them. After a while, screams came one after another. The students who were watching couldn't help but shuddered. After mocking Sun Jiajing and others for stealing the chicken but losing the rice, they all quickly ran away. At this time, Tang Xiao had time to express her guilt to her best friend Mo Qianqian for focusing on sex over friends. You can go with peace of mind. It's rare to see you being interested in a boy. I still have some discernment. If you want to eat, I can just eat something later. I knew you were the best Qianqian. That the two little girls stuck together intimately in front of the four people in Yifan's dormitory. Not to mention, this picture is very pleasing to the eye. Yifan glanced at the three roommates and was pulled away by Tang Xiao. Since he was dining alone with Tang Xiao, Mark's first priority must be to spend money to trigger the reward for her, so Yifan suggested taking Tang Xiao out to eat. Yifan drove his Koenigsegg out of the school parking lot. The cool silver-gray sports car slowly approached, and Tang Xiao finally saw the Koenigsegg who silenced the whole table at the dinner table last time. Tang Xiao has been to various high-end occasions and seen countless second-generation rich people wearing luxury cars. When I saw Koenigsegg, I couldn't help but be amazed by this car. Chapter 68, Are you addicted to taking advantage? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The price of this supercar cannot necessarily be said to be expensive, but the appearance and the wonderful sound of the engine are worth it. All reflect the superb aesthetics of the car owner. This is much better than those rich second generations who only spend money but have no taste. Tang Xiao looked at Yifan who was sitting in the car like a noble prince. The throbbing for him in her heart grew exponentially again. Not long after, a cool gray car silhouette sped past on the campus road during the relaxing morning recess period at Taito University, although the students passing by have more or less heard of the legend of Koenigsegg Shenhao on campus. But when I actually saw this cool existence with my own eyes, I couldn't help but get excited. The windows of the car were slowly lowered, and the passers-by who paid attention to Koenigsegg were all subconsciously shocked by the beautiful face on the passenger seat. Sitting on it was Tang Xiao, the school beauty from one of the 7 aristocratic families. Suddenly, the campus forum of Taito University became a heated scene because of the deeds of brother Shenhao. Yifan took Tang Xiao to a famous independent Western restaurant on 3rd Avenue in the imperial capital. Tang Xiao only quietly watched Yifan's side face along the way. At this moment, I don't even know that I have reached my destination. Seeing that Tang Xiao was motionless, Yifan jumped over and helped her unbuckle her seat belt. The distance between the two was instantly shortened. As long as Tang Xiao moves forward a little, she will kiss Mark's face. Tang Xiao felt that her heartbeat was completely out of her control. Just such a small move, she was so tempted by Mark. She quickly recalled the tips her friends had taught her about how to seduce men. That is, you must not give in when you are teased, you must tease her back. Only in this way can you firmly grasp the initiative. Thinking of this, Tang Xiao suddenly became excited. When Yifan withdrew his body, he went up to him and kissed him on the face. This time, they were both blinded immediately. Tang Xiao roared crazily in her heart, all I can think about is going back in time to sober up. Oh. It's to tease him. Why are you kissing him? Doesn't this confirm that I already like him very much? The soft touch on Mark's face still lingered, and his expression was a little smiling. So this is how girls from wealthy families chase people. Not to mention taking the initiative. Yifan looked at Tang Xiao with amusement, who was so embarrassed that he wanted to get under the ground. Miss Tang, are you addicted to taking advantage of me? Tang Xiao was about to cry but had no tears. She wanted to refute but couldn't, because she really kissed Mark. Damn it. Sure enough, beauty is a misleading thing. No matter male or female, it's all I will forgive you this time, but don't forget that you took advantage of me and I will take it back at any time. Yi Fan smiled and got out of the car first. Tang Xiao was so embarrassed that she waited for a while before getting out of the car. However, she had just entered the Western restaurant with Mark. He happened to run into a rich girl named Zhu Lily who also came to dine with him. Hey! Isn't this the eldest lady of our aristocratic family? She has time to go out to eat today. Julie held her arm with the pretty girl she kept, Ah Hua, and when she saw Tang Xiao and herself appearing in the same place, she instantly became angry. The tall figure next to Tang Xiao caught her attention, especially when she saw that Yi Fan looked so much better than Ah Hua next to her. She became even more dissatisfied with Tang Xiao. Didn't this bitch Tang act so aloof all day long and said she didn't like men? Why are you having sex with a little girl today? Seeing Yi Fan's outstanding appearance, Zhu Lily did not put him towards the rich second generation, because she has seen many young masters and young masters. How could any of them look like this? There are a few people who look good enough to be considered high profile, and this kind of appearance is absolutely impossible. Moreover, this man looks so young, it is even more impossible to be classified as one of those wealthy celebrities, so Julie Eli quickly came to a conclusion: this must be bitch Tang imitating her and starting to have fun for herself, but if nothing else, this soup bitch is so lucky. I found such a good one as soon as I fished it out. Zhu Lily looked at Tang Xiao and Mark, and thoughts came to her mind. Tang Xiao, you used to pretend to be a saint in front of the young masters of the aristocratic families and reject them. Now it seems that you are the same as me. I don't know if those young masters are all blind and have fallen in love with someone like you. But you look at men quite well, Zhu Lily said, and immediately cast her eyes on Mark. Okay, handsome boy, I'll give you double the amount of money Tang Xiao gives you, and you'll come and stay with me from now on. How about that? Ah Hua, who was next to Zhu Lily, heard her openly flirting with another man and didn't even dare to let out a fart at her. Instead, he glared at Yi Fan fiercely. Zhu Lily, don't show your dirty thoughts in front of me, okay? And who allows you to speculate on my classmates like this? Tang Xiao heard that Zhu Lily was rude to Mark. She had ignored Julie Eli's provocations in the past, but now she immediately stood up and confronted Julie Eli face to face. At this time, Yi Fan slowly looked at the woman who was out putting in front of him, a Chanel suit with strong perfume and a complete set of logos displayed on the outside. The makeup on the face is extremely thick, but the effect is still a bit unsatisfactory. Not to mention the appearance score, which is worth 80 points, Yi Fan took Tang Xiao to his side and then shook his head with a pity tone. The price you mentioned is too little. Hearing Mark's answer, Julie Eli seemed to have heard something terrible. Although Tang Xiao is one of the 7 aristocratic families, she is also very famous. As for her Zhu family, although they are always said to be nouveau riche, but compared to the Tang family, the real money feels even worse. This was also the reason why she dared to challenge Tang Xiao. After all, in this world, of course, the rich are the boss. And I prefer big beauties, like you. Yi Fan looked at Zhu Lily. Halfway through his words, he sighed and shook his head heavily while looking at her. He said nothing, but he said everything. Tang Xiao couldn't help but burst out laughing. Zhu Lily's defenses were instantly broken by Mark's words, and her whole body was so angry that her chest heaved. Hua realized that it was time for him to show off, and he immediately stepped forward and pointed his finger to curse Yi Fan. He even pretended to take care of Mark, rolled up his sleeves and rushed towards him. Chapter 69 is Baoli's partner. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Fan raised his eyes and glanced at Ah Hua, who was rushing towards him. The foundation on her face was completely white, and her body was so lean that she had no muscles at all. He is completely a helpless little butter boy. You still dare to act like a hero saving a beauty in front of him. Yi Fan frowned and raised his hand to block Ah Hua, who was charging towards him. Ah Hua was instantly bounced half a meter away, lying on the ground unable to get up. Yi Fan's heart is full of MMP. He knew that this man was weak, but he never expected that he could be so weak. If he had really taken action just now, judging from how fragile this guy is, wouldn't it mean that his whole body would be broken? Ah Hua fell to the ground and was in great pain. He simply bought the bitter meat trick in front of Zhu Lily, and then he coughed on the ground like green tea. Zhuili looked at Ahua, who fell to the ground and instantly became furious. In her opinion, Ahua was seriously injured by Yi Fan just because he defended himself. How dare you do it in public? After hearing Zhilili's question, Tang Xiao quit. Zhilili, are you okay? Anyone with eyes can see that it was the man who rushed over first. I found such a weak man, but I still have the nerve to say that Mark has hurt him. Zhilili naturally saw the whole process, but now she is looking for an opportunity to show off her power in front of Tang Xiao. Since the handsome boy next to her is also so ignorant, of course she has to put the blame on both of them. I don't care if you did it or not, anyway, it is a fact that my dear is injured now. Manager. Manager. Zhilili yelled something loudly in the direction of the aisle, and the manager of the Western restaurant in a suit immediately ran out in a hurry. Miss Zhu, do you have any orders? This Miss Zhu is a frequent customer of their Western restaurant, and she often behaves arrogantly and domineeringly in the Western restaurant. Today I had an argument with a guest without even entering the door. The manager was immediately very tired, but this Zhilili happened to be one of the few platinum members of this Western restaurant. Therefore, no matter how hard she tries, the manager and restaurant staff often have no choice but to endure it. When the manager arrived, Zhilili's face showed her arrogance. She raised her chin and pointed at Yi Fan and Tang Xiao opposite. These two people just deliberately hurt my dear. I order you to drive them out now. I don't want to ruin my mood by seeing them again. The manager looked at the person opposite Zhilili in embarrassment. Only then did I realize that there was actually a Miss Tang from one of the aristocratic families inside. In an instant, one head and two were as big as one. Tang, Miss Tang. Ms. Zhu, is there any misunderstanding between you and Miss Tang? We can resolve any misunderstandings. The manager tried his best to be the peacemaker. After all, one is a wealthy upstart, and the other is a young lady from an aristocratic family with a deep family history. No matter what, he doesn't want to offend anyone. Zhilili was furious when she heard this. What misunderstanding can there be? Manager, you don't have to listen to what I say now, right? Zhilili saw the manager's eyes swaying between her and Tang Xiao in fear, and she naturally understood. I see, it seems you are still afraid of the Tang family, right? Then please listen to me. Our family has recently signed a project cooperation with Baoli Real Estate. Now our Zhu family is also a guest of Baoli Real Estate. If I remember correctly, the land for your Western restaurant is rented from Baoli, right? Believe it or not, if you make me unhappy, I just go and say a few words to my dad, and your land will be rented by Baoli. Take it back. Ah. This, Miss Zhu, please calm down. The manager didn't expect that the Zhu family would actually discuss cooperation with Baoli now, and the balance in his heart seemed to be completely overwhelmed by this threat. There was also a hint of surprise on Tang Xiao's face. She had always known that the Zhu family was open and bold, so it was developing rapidly, but she didn't expect that the Zhu family would cooperate with Baoli so quickly. This is the partner that her Tang family has been trying in various ways but has yet to settle on. Tang Xiao's face gradually turned dark. In my heart, I felt a deep sense of guilt towards Mark. If it weren't for her, Yi Fan wouldn't have been bitten by a crazy woman like Zhilili. Even just wanting to have a good meal is impossible. Tang Xiao gritted her teeth and thought about going up to apologize to Zhilili herself. If she loses face, she will lose face, but she doesn't want Mark to lose face because of her. Tang Xiao took a deep breath and was about to take a step forward. Yi Fan stretched out his hand to pull her, and even clasped her fingers tightly. As if silently telling her that the two of them are always on the same front. Tang Xiao was confused for a moment. And her heart was excited because of the sudden clasping of their fingers. Yi Fan looked at the proud Zhilili and slowly asked in a cold voice. You said your family has discussed cooperation with Baoli. What is the name of your company? Hearing Yi Fan's question, Zhilili thought that Yi Fan regretted it and was afraid. She couldn't help but become even more arrogant, raising her chin so high that it almost reached the sky. Now you know how great my Zhu family is. It's too late. Who told you to choose the wrong person? You have to listen to me. Whether our Zhu family company changes its name or surname, it will be Hongda New Materials Company. It is now the leading materials company in the entire imperial capital. Apart from their false reputations, these aristocratic families have far less money-making ability than ours. Look at it, Tang Xiao, from now on you Tang family will have to be beaten by our Zhu family for the rest of your life, Eli said while letting out a villainous laugh. Tang Xiao was very angry, but she was helpless at this time. After all, Baoli real estate is too huge. If she was being challenged by someone who was cooperating with such a large group, she could only stand at attention and receive a beating. Otherwise, if her family is implicated, Tang Xiao will never be able to shoulder this responsibility. Yi Fan, who had been standing calmly, heard the name Zhu Lili answered confidently. He narrowed his eyes and took out his cell phone to dial the number. Although the Baoli group was under Zhao Tianrui's rectification before, no matter which hotel or business place he went to, Yi Fan would always be in trouble. They will be recognized immediately, but after all, this Western restaurant is not a direct business within Baoli, so it is normal for the manager here not to recognize him. In this case, Yi Fan wouldn't mind letting Zhu Lili see it in person. What kind of end will she end up with if she is so arrogant in front of him? When the call was connected, Yi Fan slowly told him what he wanted to say with an upright voice. Chapter 70. He is really the chairman of Baoli. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Director Zhao, right? Did our Baoli recently sign a cooperation agreement with a company called Hongda New Materials? Yes, Chairman Yi, why do you suddenly ask this? In order to cooperate with us, this material company automatically lowered its price to the lowest among its peers. Originally we looked down upon them, but seeing that they were quite sincere, we thought we would cooperate and investigate first. What? Does Chairman Yi have any instructions for this cooperation? Zhao Tianrui on the other side suddenly heard that Yi Fan was concerned about the group's business. Naturally, he immediately cheered up and explained the situation to Mark Fan seriously. At the Western restaurant, Eli heard what Yi Fan said after making the call. Immediately, he and Hua beside him laughed mockingly. Tang Xiao, this little boyfriend of yours is too funny, isn't it? Does he think this is a studio and we are playing house? Return to our Baoli. Is Baoli real estate something he can use to get high? Tang Xiao, he has followed you. Why don't you give him popular science about the structure of the upper class like us? You are still making such a pretentious joke here. Zhuili and Ahua burst out laughing. Tang Xiao had heard about Mark's strength at that class reunion before. Seeing Mark make this call, she felt a glimmer of hope. Since the Zhu family can cooperate with Baoli, based on Yi Fan's amazing financial resources, he might actually know the people inside Baoli. Tang Xiao immediately took a step forward when she saw Zhu Lili still mocking Mark. Zhu Lili, that's enough. If you go too far again, even if I catch myself, you won't be able to feel better. Yi Fan glanced at Tang Xiao, who stood up for him, and Zhu Lili, who remained stubborn. Issue your own orders directly. Director Zhao, immediately cancel all cooperation between Baoli and Hongda. The reason is that the daughter of their Zhu family has ruined the image of our Baoli outside. The people who should be held accountable, and within today, I want to see Hongda completely disappear from the top rankings of materials companies in the imperial capital. Okay, Chairman Yi. I'll do it right now. After Yi Fan hung up the phone, the work team under Zhao Tianrui immediately started working on Yi Fan's order. Zhu Lili saw Yi Fan hang up the phone, and the sarcastic expression on her face became even more exaggerated. Oh, you really laughed me to death. My eyes were open today. There is such a way to show off. Julie and Ahua were laughing happily. Suddenly, Julieli's cell phone rang rapidly. Julie took out her cell phone and found that the caller was her father. Strange, at this time, her father would be too busy to contact her. Julie pressed the connect button in confusion, and a squeaky daddy came out before she could say anything. An angry roar suddenly came from the other side of the phone. Julie! You unfilial daughter! Who have you offended? Do you know that our Zhu family finally won the cooperation with Baoli Real Estate? They have now unilaterally cancelled all cooperation with our company. And this is an order personally issued by Chairman Yi of Baoli Real Estate. It's all because you ruined Baoli's reputation outside. I'm telling you. All your cards have been frozen by me now. If you don't resolve this matter, go apologize to Chairman Yi and ask him to take his life back. You won't have to come back to the Zhu family in the future. After Zhu's father reprimanded him angrily, he couldn't help coughing violently due to excitement. Julie Eli hung up the phone with a bang before she could speak again. Julie Eli was completely stunned by the scolding, and the hand holding the phone slowly dropped down due to fear and weakness. My company has been cancelled from cooperation. It was also said that Chairman Yi of Baoli Real Estate personally gave the order. And the man named Yi who was next to Tang Xiao just now, just like that, he sent the exact same instructions to the mobile phone in front of them. So, the man in front of me is really the chairman of Baoli Real Estate. Julie Eli cast her eyes towards the other side with extreme fear. Several people present who witnessed the whole process were also shocked. Tang Xiao covered her mouth in surprise. She knew that Yi Fan was rich, so she just guessed that Yi Fan might really have connections in Baoli, but she never thought of it. Yi Fan is actually the chairman of the famous Baoli Real Estate. Such an achievement can be achieved at his age. This man is so amazing. The manager on the side suddenly broke out in cold sweat. Fortunately, he didn't just casually participate in the struggle between the two sides, otherwise, my little life will simply become cannon fodder. Zhu Lili was completely shocked by Yi Fan's true identity. She thought about the nonsense she had just said. Every time she thought about it, her legs became weaker. I wanted to ask Mark to forgive me, but my teeth couldn't help but tremble with fear. Yi, Chairman Yi. What I just said was not true. I haven't seen Sister Tang for a long time, so I thought of joking with her. I personally would never dare to offend you. Please, sir, please forgive me this time. I really know I was wrong, Chairman Yi. Our Zhu family cannot lose the opportunity to cooperate with Baoli. Julie Eli said while slapping herself. He knelt down for Mark directly in the crowded aisle. Julie Eli knew that she had completely lost face now, but if she doesn't do this, her father will never unfreeze her bank card again. How can she continue to spend money and play with handsome guys in the future? So even if it was embarrassing, Julie still wanted to use this wave of moral kidnapping to beg Yi Fan to take back his life. And after all, she is also a girl. Chairman Yi saw him like this, so he would show mercy to her no matter what. But she was wrong. In Yi Fan's eyes, Zhu Lili was not only not a gem worth cherishing, but also a piece of trash with a corrupt personality. As long as it is garbage, no matter whether it is male or female, Yi Fan will take care of it. Yi Fan glanced at Zhu Lili who was kneeling on the ground in disgust. Manager, please clear out these two people who are blocking the way. With these two here, how many customers will be blocked from wanting to come in and spend money? That the manager realized that Yi Fan was the biggest boss now, so of course he had to listen to him, so he immediately called the two security guards at the door, lifted the person up and prepared to throw him out. Julie Eli still refused to leave and wanted to beg for mercy. Tang Xiao suddenly spoke up and stopped the security guard who was about to throw the two of them out.